Have you ever stood somewhere, knowing that beneath your feet lies an entire city, not ruins, not chambers, but a living world carved deep into the earth, a place where up to 20,000 people once breathed, slept, prayed, and hid, all without sunlight? This isn't science fiction. This is Derinkuyu, Turkey, the largest underground city ever discovered. And today, we're going down. To understand the people who built it, why they chose to live in the dark, and the mysteries they left behind. Including one question historians still can't answer. What, or who, were they hiding from? Let's descend. Cappadocia feels like another planet. Fairy chimneys, caves carved in stone, and hot air balloons drifting across sunrise skies. But beneath this beauty lies a darker truth, because the ground here is hollow. There are over 200 underground cities, with 36 major ones discovered so far. Some even believe they're all connected, like a secret subterranean web. And Derinkuyu is the crown jewel. Our story doesn't begin with archaeologists. It begins in 1963. A man renovating his home knocks down a wall in his basement. He expects extra space, maybe for storage. Instead, cold air rushes out. A narrow tunnel appears. He crawls inside. It's pitch black, dust swirling. And he finds rooms, hallways, stairs leading down into the darkness. He runs back out, terrified and amazed. He hasn't just made a renovation mistake. He's rediscovered a lost world. This wasn't a rumor. This wasn't a legend. It was real. Entering Derinkuyu today still feels unsettling. Stone corridors narrow the deeper you go. The air grows colder. The walls press closer. Your footsteps echo like whispers from the past. And then suddenly, the space opens. Rooms, storage chambers, ventilation shafts drop through the earth like wells into nothingness. 18 levels, all carved by hand, descending 85 meters, the height of a 30-story building. Thousands of people lived here. And now, so will we, for the next few minutes. So who built Derinkuyu? Theories vary. Some say the Phrygians in the 8th century BCE. Others argue it began far earlier, carved by mysterious ancient civilizations lost to time. What we know for sure is that the rock here, volcanic tuff, is soft when carved but hardens with exposure to air. It's perfect for a chisel-made city. Imagine, no lights, no electricity, just iron, fire, and sheer determination. Chip by chip, stone by stone, generations carved their world downwards as the world above grew more dangerous. Were they hiding from invaders, religious persecution, a natural catastrophe, something else entirely? For now, the silence of these corridors has no answers, only echoes. To understand Derinkuyu, you have to imagine life here. You live in a region fought over by empires, Hittites, Persians, Romans, Byzantines, Seljuks. Armies march, villages burn, and survival isn't guaranteed. Going underground wasn't about comfort. It was a matter of life or death. Derinkuyu wasn't a bunker. It was a self-sustaining civilization. It had communal kitchens, wine and oil presses, and even livestock stalls. Ventilation shafts, schools, chapels, and storage for enough food to last for months. Wells were only accessible from inside. These people weren't preparing for days. They were preparing for entire seasons of war. A hidden world where safety meant silence and where children learned to walk in tunnels, not fields. But the most brilliant part? The air. Fresh air flows through this city like a living organism. 55-meter-deep shafts pull oxygen down through all 18 floors. They were strategically angled, protected, and completely invisible from above. And the defenses, they're remarkable. Tunnel ceilings were kept low, forcing intruders to stoop and move in single file. Ambush points were carved right into the walls. And then there are the iconic rolling stone doors, enormous circular boulders that slide to seal corridors. Once closed, they were nearly impossible to open from the outside. When danger approached, residents would retreat into the earth, and the earth would seal them in safety. It was a perfect vault, a fortress of silence. But what was life actually like? It must have been claustrophobic, dark, and communal. Oil lamps flickered, children played in narrow alcoves, mothers baked bread in smoky kitchens, and prayers were whispered in secret chapels. You didn't just visit Derinkuyu, you belonged to it. Families slept close. Stories and songs replaced sunlight. Imagine waking every single day not knowing if the surface was safe. Imagine the courage it took to build a home you might never leave. This city wasn't just made of stone. It was hope, carved into darkness. Centuries passed, and the city evolved. During the Byzantine era, Christians fleeing persecution expanded these tunnels. They carved churches with stone altars, baptismal pools, and classroom spaces for missionaries. Faith survived where sunlight couldn't. In silence, they kept their beliefs alive. In darkness, they found their own light. And Derinkuyu wasn't alone. A tunnel 8 kilometers long is said to have connected it to another underground city, Cappadocia. Were there more? Some locals whisper about networks stretching all across Cappadocia, a hidden world beneath a world. Ancient emergency highways, or maybe something bigger we still don't understand. Some theories even suggest they were built by remnants of an unknown ancient culture, or survivors of natural cataclysms, passing down lost knowledge through generations. Or, and this is far-fetched but fascinating, what if the builders were preparing for something catastrophic from above? Could they have known something we don't? Eventually, the world above grew safer. People returned to the sun. The entrances were sealed, forgotten, and buried under soil and time. Until one man's hammer stroke cracked history open once again. Today, only 8 of the 18 levels are open to the public. The rest remain locked in darkness. Every new excavation brings new questions, and the city still breathes, quietly and patiently. Walking these corridors, you feel something, a weight, not of stone, but of the lives lived here. Fear, faith, family, survival. This city reminds us that humanity endures. We adapt. We build shelters not just of stone, but of hope. Derinkuyu isn't a story of hiding. It's a story of courage, of choosing life, even in darkness. So tell me, if you lived thousands of years ago, and the world above became too dangerous, would you have the courage to descend and build a life underground? Let me know in the comments. If this journey moved you, subscribe for more hidden worlds, ancient mysteries, and the incredible stories our planet still holds. Until next time, keep exploring. The Earth still has secrets,